Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's try something a little bit different and let's try making a fireworks ice-dyed shirt. It's almost the 4th of July, so I thought I would try something a little different and see if I could get a shirt that kind of looks a little bit like fireworks. So I'm going to do this one outside, and for my setup I'm using 2 plastic sawhorses and I've placed 2 long pieces of vinyl guttering between the sawhorses. Then across the 2 pieces of vinyl guttering, I'm using a metal rack, and this one has legs, but the part that I really want about this metal rack is the fact that it has the squares. So I'm going to randomly choose areas on the shirt, kind of spiral or twist them, and push them down through the holes in the metal rack. Just a little bit, enough so that they kind of hold their shape and the shirt doesn't fall off the rack. I did not spin this one out of my Panda spin dryer like normal. I went ahead and wrung it out by hand because I wanted to leave it a little bit more damp than normal. I thought it might be a little bit easier to push these areas down through this rack if the shirt was a little bit more damp, and I also thought it might keep it damp a little bit longer since I'm doing it outside. I think it's in the mid-90s today, so I do have this underneath the trees to keep the direct sunlight off of it, but it's still pretty hot out here. I'm almost out of space on my metal rack, so I'm going to go ahead and get another metal rack exactly like this one and add to the other side. I can put the rest of the shirt over onto that rack. By the way, when I put the shirt on top of the rack, I place the front of the shirt down. Generally, I've found whenever I do any kind of like tall deep scrunches or things where only one side of the shirt is up and I only apply dye to one side, I think that the side that is on the bottom usually looks better. The dye kind of flows to that area, and I think it just gives a more unique look to the shirt. So I've never tried this design before exactly like this. I've done similar, but not exactly. So I thought I'd go ahead and try it with the front of the shirt down. See if that made the dye movement look a little bit cooler on the front. So for this shirt, I'm using Fire Red and Midnight Blue, which are both Dharma colors. I'm starting out with Fire Red, and I'm going to add just a little bit to several of the little center spiral areas. I'm trying to be kind of random. I'm adding red to part of them, and I'm going to add the Midnight Blue to the other part. I'm going to leave the remaining part of the shirt white. There is a little bit of dye that is blown over from the wind onto some of the white area of the shirt, so I have a few little sprinkles of color there, but for the most part I'm trying to leave it alone. I'm going to add some additional dry soda ash over the rest of the shirt, and then I've made some ice cubes in an ice cube tray. These are maybe close to 2-inch ice cubes, and I'm going to place 1 ice cube on top of each of the areas of color that I've placed on this shirt. I'm not going to cover the entire shirt with ice. Like I said, it's pretty hot outside today, so I left the shirt alone and allowed the ice to melt. When the ice melted, I came back and pretty much most of the dye had dissolved, but I went ahead and added 1 more ice cube on top of each one of the dye areas and then allowed that ice to melt too. So I've included a few process photos so that you can see kind of what the shirt looked like as the ice melted. And I've also included a photo which shows you my setup so that you can see like the sawhorses and how I set this up outside. It's only a couple of days until the 4th of July, so I want to kind of hurry the shirt along. That's one reason why I'm doing it outside. This dye needs at least 70 degrees Fahrenheit in order to properly bond with the shirt. So since it's like in the 90s as far as the base temperature, and it's over 100 degrees in heat index, I don't have to leave the shirt quite as long as I would if I had it inside. So I'm going to leave the shirt overnight and part of the day tomorrow, and then I'm going to go ahead and rinse it out. Okay, so this is what the shirt looked like right before I started rinsing it. And I don't think the temperature dropped below 70 degrees at all at night. So all in all, between beginning the shirt and rinsing the shirt, it's been probably about 20 hours. I went ahead and took my rack and shirt to my utility sink, and I started rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I'm sorry I bumped the camera with my rack, and so it's a little off center from where it normally is over my sink. Once I rinsed in cold for a while, I went ahead and pulled the shirt off of the metal rack and began rinsing it in hot water to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Instead of rinsing for a long time, I went ahead and ran some really hot water in my utility sink, added some Blue Dawn dish detergent to the water, and allowed the shirt to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out and I continued that soaking process until my water was remaining almost clear. Then I put the shirt, along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent, into my washing machine and washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so the shirt has been washed and dried, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? I don't know that it looks exactly like fireworks, but I do think it's kind of a fun 4th of July shirt. I wanted it to be bursts of color, and it kind of has that effect. It doesn't really look like tall, deep scrunches, which is fine because that wasn't the look that I was going for. There are a few areas on the shirt that do kind of have the look of fireworks. Like on the very front of the shirt, over on one shoulder, that red burst kind of looks like a firework after it's exploded and the parts kind of start to drizzle down. And then I do like the fact that I have red and I have blue, but I don't have a lot of purple on the shirt. Now, the red that I used did kind of split, and I have some pinky colors on there. And then because I used fire red, I do have some yellow on the shirt. But for the most part, I mean, when you look at the shirt, you don't think red, blue, and purple. You see red and blue. I know Dharma has a new red out that's supposed to be a pure red without any color splits, and I believe the color is called Dynamite. I haven't actually purchased the color yet, so I'm not really sure, but I know some of you all may have tried it. I really don't mind the kind of yellow color that shows up in fire red though, especially with a shirt like this, because, you know, a lot of the fireworks do have that kind of goldish yellow color in them. I also don't see a huge difference between the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt. If you remember, whenever I do tall, deep scrunches, normally the part of the shirt that is facing down is the part that has the best look to it. I just think the dye movement on that part of the shirt looks a little bit better, so I normally put the front of the shirt facing down. That's what I did on this one too, but I don't notice a huge difference. So I really don't think it would have made a difference which side of the shirt I had facing up. So even though it doesn't look exactly like fireworks, I still think it's a fun shirt. But what do you guys think? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic 4th of July.